Good morning from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's 11:30 on the 9th of October 2023. As you can see, I'm wearing the same dress I wore yesterday. It wasn't dirty, and saving on the washing. Sometimes I do that when my clothes are still clean. I wear them 2 days in a row, because who knows, right? Except for YouTube world. Nobody else comes here and would notice. Don't worry, I've got clean undies on. Anyway, so I'm sitting here. It's a very warm day. It was cold last night. I actually had to put my electric blanket on. It was cold, which is unusual. And so I'm sitting here in the garden with my Charlie, who was, she's off exploring. And this very handsome man just walked past. I've seen him before. He's married. I've seen him before. His wife doesn't like me. She was quite mean to me some years ago up at the dog park. Horrible, bitter, irascible, condescending, pretentious woman. So, but he doesn't know that I know who he's attached to. So it was quite comical because they have 2 little schnauzers, cute little dogs. And it's so empty and lonely here without Beauregard. If Beauregard was alive, he would have run to the fence and barked at them, just because he can. That was his job. He thought that was his important job to do as a dog, protect sacred space from all the other doggies. So I'm just literally sitting here as I am at this table with Charlie was beside me, and Charlie had just bitten me, given me a little nip. So I was telling her, I said, "Don't bite Easter, Mama, that's not very nice." And he could hear me, telling her off, I think, this man. So he turned and he just gave me a very sweet, shy smile. Well, he's a very good-looking man, but, I was thinking about it. Just because someone's good-looking doesn't mean they're a nice person, right? I've been burnt like that before in the past. In particular, I had married men coming after me who pretended they weren't married and led me a bloody song and dance, the bastards. So I'm just observing this guy very warily. He's not doing anything wrong, people. He's just walking his dogs, But he hasn't been past my house. Probably it's been 10 years since he's wandered past my house with his little doggies. So this is the 3rd or 4th time in recent weeks that he's walked in this general direction. So I don't know what that's about. Maybe he's retired and he's got more time, or maybe he's just choosing to walk this way. It's not a crime to walk the streets of Holland Park, Brisbane, people, but it's just strikes me as a bit unusual that he comes past and, looks into my garden, sees me sitting there and shoots me a nice, shy, polite smile, which is what he's been doing in recent weeks. I thought, okay. There's no harm in it. But I just thought, I wondered what's come about that he's going on his own with his doggies. It used to be the wife, the horrible wife, that she was an attractive woman too. They would have been a beautiful couple when they were young. Very beautiful couple, both blonde, and to be honest, he looks a bit Viking, looks a bit Norwegian or Danish background. I might be wrong, might be German, might be Dutch. He's got a European vibe to him. And, although she didn't used to walk down past my house either. They used to go straight up to the dog park. Anyway, it's a free country, people. People can walk wherever the hell they feel like. But it's just odd how they sort of go past and they look into my garden. I suppose they're looking for Beauregard because he used to bark at all the dogs, And now there's this literally deathly silence. It probably unhinges them a bit, It's only been 2 months since he's been gone, but there's still this eerie sense of the sound of silence, which is hard to get used to, not having him around. And so anyway, he walked off with his little doggies quite contentedly, and I had nodded and smiled politely, and I'm hunkered over my plate of pineapple. She wouldn't know that I had pineapple on my plate. My cup of tea in my garden, all alone. And then a bit later, a few minutes later, I just felt this heavy sadness wash through me. And I thought to myself, I feel evacuated out like the hollow bone the shamans talk about. You having to be a hollow bone, and you let all the spiritual messages just move through you, and you just glean wisdom and just let it flow through you, right? And I don't know what the spiritual messages were because, I wasn't intuiting anything, but I literally felt evacuated out, like my soul had left my body. And I often feel like that when I feel sadness. It seeps down like a mantle coat and envelops me, and it was a strange sensation because it literally felt like I'd been sucked out of my body and this other energy was moving through me. So luckily I'm sitting on the ground as always, barefoot, with my feet on the ground, grounding. I'm always grounding in my garden because it's good for your health, people. It's good to be one with nature, especially when I spend so much time on the internet with EMF radiation, swirling around me, and it's kind of mad, really. My attempts to be one with nature while immersed in radiation. It's hypocrisy of the grand scale. Anyway, I had a very bad night last night. I was up 5 times, doing the usual peeing like a racehorse. And by about the 4th or the 5th time, I thought, I just feel so wrung out. I just got to the toilet like an automaton. I just shuffled in and shuffled out. And I can't believe my life is reduced to this now, but it is what it is, All I can do is observe handsome-looking men going past my gate thinking, wouldn't it be lovely to have a handsome-looking man in my bed beside me? And then I thought about it and went, no, it wouldn't. Not with me having to get up to the toilet all night long. That would be really off-putting and would cause them to have sleep deprivation. Before long, they'd be strangling me, right? Like all my other lovers did in one form or another. 3 of them, quite literally. So I was like, no, that would not be any good at all. I'm just looking up, there's a butcher bird that's arrived in the golden rain tree. He'll come down, he likes to swim in the bowl I put out for the birds to swim in. So anyway, no. I'm lucky I'm on my own, I really am. I have to be grateful for that even, because it saves a lot of grief and a lot of heartache and a lot of toxicity being with a man who would be annoyed by my sleeping and pissing habits. So there you go, I'm destined to die alone, and it is what it is. And sometimes I just feel the seeping, gushing, cascading like a waterfall energy of just really grief, grief at what I've missed out on, and grief at what should have been, could have been, but wasn't, because I fell in love with monsters over and over again. So but yes, anyway, so I don't know what I'm going to do today. I've got a ring I could be working on. I've been planning to cast a sterling silver ring, but I don't know if I feel like it today. The muse has to be with me, kind of thing. It's been in the back of my mind to do it for about a week, but I've been busy. Yesterday I just potted drilling the grit sizes onto the little spindles, the little the mandrels that you hold the radial discs on. So I sat there carving the grits into them so that I know what grit they are by looking at the mandrel, right? And actually drew on the little radial discs as well. And that took quite some time, pottering like that, just doing little odd jobs. Silversmithing can be quite an intensive hobby because there's always some little job that needs doing, and it seems like a little job, but it ends up being a big job and time consuming. But you know, I enjoyed myself sitting there quietly doing that. And yeah, I really need to get busy. I'm waiting on the silver finishing wire to arrive so I can finish off my skull necklace, which I'm not totally sure will hold together because you know, I think it might still tear through the thread because it's a heavy necklace. So I've done all that work and it might be for naught, right? But we'll see. We will see how it goes. It's just I wanted to see if it held together more being knotted thread, and if it doesn't hold together I'll go back to string it and wire, which eventually breaks through those as well, but it seems to last a while before it breaks. So yeah, there is that. And what else can I tell you? It's very quiet in the neighbourhood, very, very quiet. I guess being Monday, most people are back at work and school, right? So I'm surrounded by beauty and by light, even the sun's come out. But the silence is deafening. Even the birds are fairly quiet today. I know, there's a few tweeting in the background, but Charlie's at my feet, smooching up next to my foot. I'll show you, it's quite funny. There she is. What you doing, Charlie? You see her? There she is. What you doing? Eating dirt. So, yeah, don't have any deep philosophical, spiritual messages for you. Yesterday was a bit intense. I haven't looked at my my memories from today, the 9th of October, so there might be something tucked away in there. But yeah, I just wanted to touch base about how strange it is sometimes to sit here alone in my garden and think about how I've been abandoned and betrayed in life, you know. Constant abandonment and betrayal. No wonder I get depressed and sad from time to time. I've got every right to, you know. But all things have their season and all things end, and I have to make peace with that and wait for the next wave, the next resurgence. Maybe I will meet a lovely, you know, new friend or potential partner sometime in the future. Not married men going past with their doggies though, handsome though he is. I'm alive. I still notice when they're handsome, darling. But like I say, I'm not impressed by good looks anymore. I need to see the colour of their soul. I've been fooled by pretty faces in the past too many times. Pretty faces and superficial charm, only to have them turn monstrous on me. So I'm done now. And, you know, like I say, as an older woman with a failing bladder, I mean, what's the point in even starting anything with anybody? You know, my health's too precarious. It's just would be a burden to someone, and it's not fair to do that to anyone. And I just wanted to be loved, you know, and respected and cared for, and that wasn't the cards that were dealt me, so it is what it is. Anyway, on a happy note, I will soldier through today as I've soldiered through every other day in my life, and we shall see what magic we shall weave as we do each day. Much love from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. Hold the line. Israel is at war and we're at risk of being dragged into a global war, what with what's going on with Russia and Ukraine, Israel and Palestine. I mean, the whole world's just a mess, isn't it? So, and I was shown the auguries with those seagulls 2 weeks ago at Cleveland Point. I knew we were on the brink of a war. And that's the other reason I'm feeling a bit fragile and vulnerable, because if there's any more food shortages or they put the petrol up even more, I won't be able to survive financially. And it's untenable, especially given my health situation. So I'm trying not to worry about that, and trying to think positive and hold the line as I have always done. And so I adjure you all, hold the line and stay in love with our planet, stay in love with each other, and be good and kind to each other. Blessings from Sacred Space.